Welcome back. So tonight, I am fortunate enough to have with me Dave Carnevale. Dave is running for Massachusetts State Senate, and he's running in the Middlesex District Number 2, and beautiful Medford is in that district. Welcome, Dave.
Hi.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
That's my
Appreciate
pleasure. So tell us, this race, tell us what it's about.
I'm going to be running for the 2nd Middlesex State Senate seat, which covers Medford, all of Winchester, most of Somerville, and one ward in Woburn.
Okay.
And this is a very important race, and I don't think a lot of people understand just how important this position is. There are only 40 state senators representing a state that has a population of about 6.5 million people. And these are basically the people that are going to be determining what is law here in the Commonwealth. And unfortunately, the state Senate races are sometimes overlooked because of the gubernatorial race that's going on right now. But
I think it's interesting. I think you see that not only do you see that in local politics, you see that in national politics. Everybody gets jazzed up around the presidency,
right?
But you have much significantly less turnout when you have people going for Congress, and that happens every 2 years. And then you've got the Senate races. That the recent one was large, and some of them are okay in size, but they don't realize that the people who make the laws are not the governor, they're not the president, it's not the executive branch.
Exactly.
So, obviously this is a big deal, and we have a lot of, you're also the guys who repeal the laws,
exactly.
which I think is the magic word of the day, is get rid of some of this garbage that's eating up millions of dollars.
Exactly.
So specifically, why did you get into this race? I mean, what was important to you, and what do you see going on that made you say, I got to do this? This is...
Yeah, there was several things. Going back to 2007, when I first started my business, it became very clear to me that Massachusetts was not a business-friendly state. And that was something I really wanted to change. And business was going well in 2007, and then in 2008, in the fall, the economy took a nosedive.
Yep.
So my business was affected by that, and I started paying very close attention to how my elected officials were voting, and to see how they would remedy the problem.
So did you have employees that were you individual LLC, or did you have employees that were working for you at the time?
Yes, I was an LLC, and I did have one full-time sales rep and part-time sales rep.
So you had to pay all kinds of different little things to the state, just, because this is the unfriendly state of Massachusetts. Right. So I too am a business owner. I've been a business owner for years, and doing business here has been dreadful for me.
Especially when you have to deal with, I'm a wine distributor, so I have to deal with the ABCC, who controls the alcoholic beverage licenses and everything, and then the Massachusetts Department of Revenue, and really it was a real headache and very costly to get going.
And you get to a point where you're not even running your business.
Right.
You're sitting around, you're doing the bureaucratic paperwork day to day, just so you can be in this wonderful state, so that they can take more and more of your money.
Exactly.
And you become a paper pusher. It's like they want to turn everybody into them.
Right.
You have to push papers too, because we do.
So I started, as I was going through this process, I started asking myself, it's almost as if these people or the state does not want me to do business here.
Well, I don't think that they do. I think that they just want to blanket the entire place with socialism and figure out someone else to pay for the whole thing, and then just have truckloads of money coming in on a day-to-day basis to take care of the individuals who can't take care of themselves, which, according to the state, is absolutely no one. Heaven forbid you have the right to raise your own kids or run your own company.
So, I started, like I said, I started paying very close attention to how my elected officials were going to remedy this problem we were having with the economy. And that's when I became aware of my state senator, Pat Jelen. And, I started looking at her voting record, and she was doing absolutely nothing to remedy the situation. She voted for 3 different gas tax increases, a hotel tax increase, meals tax increase. She voted against tax incentives and tax credits and incentives for small businesses to hire people. She voted against a bill which would freeze the non-hiring of non-essential government workers.
So essentially, you got into this race because your business was getting destroyed,
Right.
and you were able to point to a person that sits in your district,
Right.
which is the district of Medford, which is the district that is nice enough to shoot this show for us.
Exactly.
That is just wiping everything out.
Right. And I'm looking to start a family soon. I'm a fairly young guy, and I don't have any plans of leaving Medford, and I plan on raising my children here, and I'm just concerned with what's going on, and I really felt like I needed to get involved.
So basically, is your goal to get involved in politics and then go back to being a private business person? Is your goal to stay in politics? Do you not have a goal right now? What's your...
I don't agree with career politicians.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that's I want to do. I've pretty much put my life on hold for a year to run for this office, but I believe while I'm in office, the business can still be run, and will be there for me when I get back.
So, do you think that the constituents of this district, have any idea about Pat's voting record, or do you think most people are blind, or what? Why have they voted her in?
Well, I to be honest with you, I've been going around door to door talking to a lot of people. I would say in every city and town except for Somerville, 80 to 85% of the people I talk to are not aware that she is their state senator. So that says something.
Yeah. It says they're checking the little D box.
Right. And she's run unopposed for the last 2 terms. So
then there's no other box to check.
Right.
And no sticker campaigns against her. Nobody's doing anything.
No.
Well.
So I really felt that
So you
I
have
had
a chance
to get
at
involved.
this.
Absolutely.
Are there any independents that are on the ballot?
Nope.
So it's you and her.
It's just the 2 of us. It's nice because it keeps it really simple, really clean for the voters. You have the incumbent who really is a left-wing, extreme liberal who likes to be called a progressive, and then me on the other side who's just a moderate, fiscally responsible, and socially moderate. Okay. And I believe, regardless of party affiliation, I believe that most people in this district would consider themselves fiscally conservative and moderately social.
Well, I assume. I don't know the area significantly well. I did live for 5 years in Medford, but
Mm-hmm.
I assume that there's downtown Medford, downtown Somerville. There's a lot of businesses there.
Yes.
My assumption is that most of those are owned by people who live in the area.
Exactly.
And they're the ones who are just getting trampled by Pat and the majority on the Hill.
Right.
Their voting capabilities and the legislation and the taxation that they've passed.
Absolutely. But it's the real challenge is trying to make everybody aware of her voting record. It's not easy to go up to Beacon Hill and just grab somebody's voting record. I mean, it takes a lot of research. It takes, and when I spent the time going through all of them and compiled them on my website. I have a chart going down with all the details and how she voted, and we're using that to kind of educate people.
Well, I think that's the right thing to do. I've tried to do that as well.
Right.
It's a big thing because people need to understand that you can't look at a person. A person is meaningless. The only thing that matters in your elected officials is how they vote.
Exactly.
And what they vote on. And it doesn't matter if they're a nice person. It doesn't matter if they're the cute old lady who lives down the street.
Right.
The reality is the cute old lady who lives down the street is more than happy to, excuse my French, screw the voter so that they can get their pension or they can give their buddy a break.
Exactly. And Pat Gellin is a lovely woman. She is a lovely woman. But she's a very ineffective legislator. So.
Yeah, and she's taken out the businesses in the area.
Exactly.